Welcome to another episode of the Jampack Report, today for April the 8th of 2021. Of course, my name is Samuel Adams, and this is a daily gaming news podcast meant to bring you the hottest news you need to know from around the industry. Hosted on YouTube and podcast services around the world 5 days a week, it's your one-stop shop for everything you need to know. So if you enjoy the show and you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and keep coming back for more. But a very big rumor has started making its way around the industry from well-known leaker Jeff Grubb, who leaks on the floor, the ceiling, the walls regularly. And he says that Kojima is in talks with Microsoft about publishing his next big game. Linked below is this article from Pure Xbox that kind of combines a lot of the tweets that have been going out and mentions the VentureBeat story itself, but you can find the news right from the source himself, Jeff Grubb, on Twitter. He says, quoting the original VentureBeat article, "Because as I explained in the story, Kojima is in talks with Xbox to publish his next game, and the story in question that he is talking about is this piece about Abandon for PlayStation 5. And if you didn't catch the announcement yesterday, Abandon is a new first-person horror game that many people thought felt a lot like a Silent Hill. Abandon is being created and put on PlayStation 5 by a company called Blue Box Games. This is a very little-known company. They have never put out a major console release, and so people assumed that this could potentially be some kind of front for Kojima, something that would keep him out of the limelight but allow him to experiment and make a new game. Jeff Grubb says that is not in fact true, and it's not true because, again, Kojima is in talks with Xbox to publish his next game. He follows up that tweet with another one saying, quote, "And since gaming leaks and rumors on Reddit only reads the tweets, I do not know if the deal is closed, but Kojima would be a big focus for Xbox when it comes to leveraging Japanese developer talent." Phil was referencing this deal with the shelf statue thing, and if you don't know what the shelf statue thing is, you can find that image on Pure Xbox here, but in short, you see Ludens, the icon, the logo, the mascot for Hideo Kojima's Kojima Productions back here behind Phil Spencer. And this started up a lot of conversation around, is Phil just a fan? Are they in talks with Kojima about doing something? And so it seems they very well could be. This would make sense because of the way that Kojima was treated with Death Stranding. Not to say that Death Stranding did not perform well, but it did not quite hit Sony's expectations, and so a lot of conversations have been had, and a lot of people have assumed, and again, nothing has been confirmed, but a lot of people have assumed that when Kojima said one of his biggest projects was canceled, that would be from Sony. They might have pulled the plug on his next big game. So he could have been experimenting, talking with other people in the industry, and it seems like he may have ended up talking with Microsoft. Again, there is no definitive closure for this deal. We don't know if it is actually going to happen. I want to make that incredibly clear. This is not something that is confirmed. But if it were to happen, this would be a very major shift because Kojima is a very brilliant mind within the gaming industry. He makes some fantastic experiences and he really pushes the medium to its limit and then some. And that's what I love about what Kojima does. As Microsoft focuses more on big Japanese games, Kojima could be a very well-placed investment. It would take an investment, but Microsoft has the capital to back up that kind of investment. And so we could be seeing some kind of Xbox and PC exclusive coming from Kojima, which of course would make PlayStation fans incredibly upset, but that's not the goal. It's just to be able to give Kojima and everyone else within the industry the tools that they need to focus on making the games that they want to make. And I think that's something that Kojima values, and whoever is able to foot the bill for those publishing terms is certainly going to be one that he considers an ally, if I had to guess. We'll see how this goes. I will keep you all in the loop, but as we look forward, we have plenty of big events and announcements coming up, so stay tuned and we will cover it all right here on the Jampack Report. Another interesting story came out yesterday as well. Atari has changed its CEO and it set up a separate gaming division and a blockchain division for its company. In short, what you have is the gaming division focusing entirely on the VCS console, the new piece of hardware that Atari is putting out, and also bringing back these classic games and developing new experiences on modern consoles. In the other side of the business, you have a focus on blockchain and NFTs and blockchain gaming and looking into blockchain-based online worlds. Of course, you can find out the entire rundown here on gamesindustry.biz, but it's interesting to see how the company has split. But it's good to see that they, quote, also plan to revitalize classic Atari IP with new releases that have meaningful single-player, local multiplayer, and online play, end quote. Love that. Big fan of that little statement right there. Atari is a company that has had a lot of ups and downs over the years, and they're continuing to do a lot of very strange things. Again, they have an entire blockchain division now. Additionally, they're starting a hotel chain that is Atari themed, which, don't get me wrong, I would totally stay there, but at the same time, very weird to see a company that is not in the limelight of the gaming industry, that is not at the peak of its life, investing in strange things like hotels and blockchain and NFTs, which seem to be this new evolution of Bitcoin. Very complicated situation with that, that is well above my pay grade. But with all of this being taken into consideration, it's nice to see them trying new things, and I think what is really going to bring back Atari into the public eye is to release these revitalized classics. And I would love to see them collaborate with third parties. I would love to see Atari combine and collaborate with Nintendo to create some of these situations like you see with Pac-Man 99 and Tetris 99. You know, bring in those kind of experiences and create things that people want to play. That's what it really comes down to, is make legitimately fun and exciting gaming experiences. And that's what I hope they do create. The VCS console, not sure how that one's going to work out. I've kind of lost the beat on that one. I'm not sure if it has even started hitting those that have purchased. I know that there were shipping issues. I know that there were a lot of production issues, but the VCS is not really starting up that conversation. PlayStation 5, Series X, Series S, how can you compete with stuff like that on top of Nintendo potentially putting out a Switch Pro later this year? No one's going to be choosing the VCS over those unless they are diehard Atari fans from the 80s. But we'll see how the company continues to evolve over the years. But it's nice to see new leadership, new ideas, and again, I'll let you guys know how it goes. And finally, to round out today's show, Embracer Group has completed the $1.38 billion acquisition of Borderlands developer Gearbox. This isn't really something that is breaking news, this is just the completion, and I wanted you guys to know that the deal has officially gone through. According to Gamasutra, quote, the Swedish company, which also owns THQ Nordic, Deep Silver, Saber Interactive, and others, announced the acquisition back in February and has now finalized the deal. It has also completed its purchase of mobile developer EasyBrain and independent studio Aspire for amounts rising to $765 million and $450 million respectively, end quote. Embracer Group continues to gobble up these companies like Pac-Man, and they are making a lot of money doing so. But Gearbox is by far the big fish in their catalog right now, and we'll see what the company continues to do in the future. I would assume more Borderlands. It would be nice to see them branch out after the semi-success of Borderlands 3. It sold very well, but it's not quite the game that people wanted, and so we'll see how they continue to evolve their lineup. And now that they are under Embracer Group, who knows what the potential possibilities are. But that rounds out today's episode of the Jampack Report. If you enjoyed today's show, drop me a like down below and let me know what you think about everything we talked about here today. But do you think Kojima could be working with Microsoft to bring a game to Xbox and PC? Would love to hear what you have to say about Jeff Grubb's claims. But until tomorrow, you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon, and peace.